Are we live? Uh, yeah, we're live. All right. Welcome everybody to this awesome impromptu stream. If you can hear me, it is a miracle of science and technology that I am here with you guys. Obviously, there is nobody on right now. That's perfectly fine. It's just you and me watching at home. Don't worry about it. My name is Giovannie Menendez here at A Week in Geekdom, and I think I haven't done a stream in almost I'm gonna say almost 2 years. I haven't done a live stream on this channel. Uh, if you're a subscriber to these videos on my channel, thank you so much. If you also follow me on the Omnibus Collectors Network, doing the Omnibros live show, thank you so much as well. Thank you for subscribing to that channel too, giving us more social awareness, I guess. But yeah, out of all the Omnibros and stuff, I rarely go into live streaming and stuff simply because I'd like to edit. I have a fun time editing videos. I like doing my own stuff pre-recorded, editing. Of course, I can add information and clips and pictures and all that stuff to the videos. So I was never too fond of streaming. Plus, I'm by myself. Sure, the chat is always there, ready to ask some questions. But for the most part, uh, yeah, it's by myself. I don't really like it that much. I'd just rather record something and do my best with that and present that to you guys as an uploaded video. So I recently did like a 20-minute video on the Black Clover anime series. So if you want to check that out, I know it's like super long. It's not something that you can just watch on your phone in a couple minutes. But I was really passionate about that series. I've been binging it, as the kids say. I've it has its up and downs, and I wanted to talk about it. So anyways, a week in geekdom where we talk about anime, manga, comics, and all that fun stuff. Follow me on social media. Of course, stay tuned for community posts here on my channel whenever I decide to do a live stream, because this is totally improvised. I have no idea what I'm going to be talking about, except, of course, the title. I could not contain my excitement because so many years ago we got the announcement that we were going to have a Jeff Johns Aquaman New 52 omnibus, and that took forever to come out. It finally did in December of 2018, and now we have confirmation or solicitations from DC for a brand new omnibus, which is unheard of. Aquaman's second ever omnibus, and it's something that if you've watched my videos, I have a playlist of all my Aquaman content because he is my favorite DC character. And there is a video called collecting Aquaman, or Aquaman collected editions, whatever I named it. And in it I go into detail about the stuff that's missing, what's out there. Hey Jonel, sup buddy? We're talking about comics, which is something that I know you love. So yeah, the DC solicit came out, and now I have to update that video because if it stays, if DC actually releases that omnibus, it's going to be pretty awesome that we will have Silver Age content collected in omnibus in an oversized format, if you will, for the very first time. Well, technically not for the very first time. I'll get to that as well. Um, Also, I do want to share with you guys the solicitations. Now, I was trying to look for the official release, and I completely forgot the source link. So I am just going to plug free advertisement for newsarama.com. They should be lucky that a schmuck like me is promoting their stuff. I'm kidding. But yeah, it's a great website for like comic book news and stuff. And the Omnibros and myself, we use it as a reference for stuff that's going on in the comic book business and all that entertainment stuff. So they post every month these solicitations for Marvel, DC, Image, all the other companies, IDW, Dark Horse, whatever. And they posted today the DC solicitations for September 2019, my birthday month, the best month of the year. And what a surprise it is. Let's see if I can screen share it. You will no longer see this face if all goes according to plan. Application window. And here we go. I'm sharing the screen. There we go. All right. So I right now I cannot see the chat if anybody logs in, or if anybody later on leaves a comment down below and stuff. I'll get to that. I'm just going to go over the Newsarama page and the solicitations for what's coming out in September. And then I'm going to go in depth with the Aquaman stuff. As you can see, I have some links at top that I'm going to be talking about, that it has to do with that book. And hopefully you guys enjoy this. So first up, we are getting a resolicitation of Day Tripper. If you guys remember, a couple months ago, this was announced, the Absolute Edition of a wonderful Vertigo series. I love this series so much. One of the few comic books that brought me down to tears because of just how great the writing is, and the art is breathtaking, and everything about it's a very wholesome experience that I do recommend. And at different stages in your life, you're going to get something completely different out of this book. So no matter your age, if you want to read something a little bit more mature, uh, thought provoking, I guess, with a wonderful story and message, Absolute Day Tripper, man, that is going to be really awesome. I love the idea of owning this book in oversized format. I have the old chunky trade. I might as well upgrade to this. It's going to be $100, and just Moon Brothers, Fabio Moon, Gabriel Ba. It's going to be great. American Carnage trade paperback from Brian Hill. This is the other DC Vertigo series. Not a fan of this, so I have no idea. I can't I can't talk about this. But if you like this stuff, then yeah, you're gonna want to collect the entire 9-issue Vertigo series. There it is, the big bad boy in the room, Aquaman Silver Age Omnibus, Volume 1. I will go into detail about all this in just a couple minutes. Don't worry about it. Here's a look at the cover. It's going to have a new cover, by the way. This is the old cover from the Showcase Presents trades. Next up, Batman The Golden Age Omnibus Volume 8. Also solicited. This is so great to see all these names in here. Yeah, this is continuing the Golden Age run that I know a lot of people are mixed about. Some people really love it. Other people would rather have some new stuff. But this collects Detective Comics 174 to 195, Batman issues 67 to 77, and World's Finest Comics number 54 to 63. I'm not an expert on these Golden Age omnis, so I don't know what's left. I don't know what volume 9 or 10 would cover. I have no idea. But I'm just telling you that this is brand new, quote unquote, because it's pretty old. It's from the 50s and 60s. Batman and the Justice League manga. I don't know if a lot of people are reading this, but that's a thing. Batwoman Haunted Tides. I assume this is is this Rebirth material? I have no idea. But yeah, issues 0 to 11. Or is this no, this is the older stuff, right? Written by J.H. Williams. Oh, okay. I think this is the old stuff because it says La Llorona, the weeping woman. Okay, okay, I got you. I got you. Sorry about that. The little snafu. This is the uh New 52 stuff. Cool. So I assume it's all or two or three trades bundled up together in one fat trade paperback. That's gonna be cool. Next up, Crisis on Infinite Earths Companion Deluxe Edition Volume 3 hardcover. This is done by a lot of people. And yeah, I love the Crisis events. Must admit, this particular Crisis is not necessarily my favorite, but I still love it. I had a fun time reading this a long time ago. And it's what got me into the whole DC Universe event thingamajig. Um, this collects all this stuff: DC Universe, Amethyst number 13, Blue Devil 17 and 18, Wonder Woman 327 to 329, Swamp Thing 46, Legion of Superheroes 16 and 18, Superman 413 to 415. DC Comics presents 87, 88, 94, and 95. JLA Annual 3, Omega Man 31, plus a story from the Omega Man 33. Never before reprinted stories and new essays. Yay for essays. 75 bucks. Also, this Batwoman stuff is 25. I forgot to mention that. Next up, a very DC Halloween. By the way, I'm going by this real quick because I'm sure other important channels are going to cover this a little bit more in depth. I'm just reading off the list, and I want to get to the Aquaman stuff pretty quickly. So yeah, a very DC Halloween. This is a Halloween compilation. Collects 18 eerie tales from DC House of Horror #1 and Cursed Comics Cavalcade #1. It's on sale on October for 17 bucks. All right. Next up, Doomsday Clock Part 1. I think I'm gonna wait for the eventual oversized or just the 12 issue series collected in one hardcover. Uh, it just makes sense for them to release it, but you got to release this first. The first 6 issues, I assume this is a standard hardcover for Doomsday Clock Part 1. And I assume as well that the next hardcover is going to fill in this image, right? Here we go. Another omnibus. Doom Patrol by John Byrne omnibus. This is pretty exciting for all you Doom Patrol fans. This is from John Byrne, Claremont, art by John Byrne, Jerry Ordway, Hazelwood, all these guys. And it collects, let's see, JLA 94 to 99, Doom Patrol, the 18 issues, Superman #20, and a story from Secret Origins Annual #1, as well as tons of behind the scenes material. 75 bucks. So you will probably get this for cheap when it comes out in certain websites like in stock trades and stuff. Goddess Mode. I have no idea what this is, but it's 6 issues. Zoe Quinn and art and cover from Robbie Rodriguez. This is DC Vertigo. If you like this title, let me know. I have no idea what this is all about. Harley Quinn Volume 3, The Trials of Harley Quinn from Sam Humphries. I have not read any of this stuff. I assume this is still Rebirth material, issues 55 and 57 to 63. I don't know what happened to issues 56, but it's on sale as well on October for 20 bucks. Hex Wives from Ben Blacker. I have no idea what this is. I'm going to be saying that a lot, but it collects issues 1 through 6. And it has art by Mirka Andolfo. And I am a huge fan of that lady and her art. So I might be picking this up. Sounds pretty cool. Another omnibus, ladies and gentlemen. House of Mystery, the Bronze Age Omnibus, Volume 2 hardcover, collecting issues 201 to 226, with a lot of people writing. Here's the preliminary cover. I don't know if they'll stick with that. iZombie. If you don't have the omnibus or the older, I think there were trades at first, get this. This is going to be a compilation of chunky trades. This has the first 12 issues and House of Mystery Annual 1 and 2 for $30. iZombie Book 1. And I think this is a brand new cover. Correct me if I'm wrong. From Allred. But yeah, if you don't have the omnibus, get this version instead. Here's another big one, ladies and gentlemen. Jonah Hex, the Bronze Age Omnibus, Volume 1. Oof, I was not expecting to see a Jonah Hex omnibus, to be honest with you. And this is gonna look great on your DC shelf, in my honest opinion. I really want to check this out. It collects adventures from All-Star Western 10 and 11, Weird Western Tales 12 and 14, and 16 to 38, Jonah Hex 1 through 17, and Justice League of America 159 to 160. Cover price of $125, 888 pages. This is a big little omnibus that I do recommend because Jonah Hex, man, he doesn't get enough love, and all his material is pretty stellar. So yeah, if you like Jonah Hex, the Bronze Age material, you got to pick this up. Same goes for every other book. If you want this book to come out as soon as pre-orders open, please pre-order those books, because DC is looking into that. If you don't pre-order the book, they'll get the message that you don't want it, so they'll cancel it, and then people start complaining, oh, we don't have this material, or we don't have that omnibus or that hardcover. Always support the company by pre-ordering. Sometimes there are snafus and we don't get them because of other technical or licensing issues, but for the most part, if we can help by promoting and marketing and pre-ordering, yeah, do it. If you really want that book, go for it all the way. That's my motto. Justice League Dark, Volume 2, Lords of Order. I love Justice League Dark, and this title is spectacular, in my opinion. Collects issues 8 through 12 and the first annual. Naomi, Season 1 hardcover. First 6 issues from Brian Michael Bendis. Everybody's raving, about this. Might as well check it out as well. Powers Book 7, new edition from Brian Michael Bendis. Another Sandman. Oh, this is the Overture. The 30th anniversary edition, written by Neil Gaiman, yada yada. The Sandman Overture 1 through 6. Yeah. Superman, the Unity Saga. This is the first Brian Michael Bendis Superman stuff, but in trade. Yeah, let's skip that. The Silencer Volume 3. Teen Titans Volume 2. Turn it up. A new edition of Superman Red Son. Vamps, the complete collection. You like Vamps? There you go. 1 through 6, and 1 through 3. Yeah. The Wild Storm Volume 4 from Warren Ellis. Collecting, this is a resolicit. It's collecting issues 19 through 24. The Young Justice animated series tie-in comics, which, they're fun. I read a couple of those. They're pretty funny. Wonder Woman Volume 1 from G. Willow Wilson. The Just War, with this awesome cover from Mr. Terry Dodson. This is issues 58 through 65. This is also coming out in October. So that's it, unless you guys want me to talk about figures and stuff, but no. Let's talk about the freaking Aquaman omnibus. Because if I only talked about the Aquaman omnibus, you guys would be upset because you wanted to learn about the other solicits, right? So, yeah. Aquaman, the Silver Age Omnibus, Volume 1 hardcover. Okay, I'm going to explain this real quick. So far, there have been, I'm going to say, 7 or 8 volumes of Aquaman. from his inception back in the day with this material up to, I think, volume 8 would be Rebirth, if I remember correctly. So every time a series is canceled or stopped and then they restart, it becomes another volume. So the reason there's so many compared to Batman, which only has 2 volumes, uh, is because volume 1 lasted for, say, I'm going to say like 60 issues, 60 or 70 issues. It got canceled. And when it came back, volume 2 was like 4 issues. Volume 3 was like 13, stuff like that. Eventually, like the bigger runs, the Peter David stuff, which was well over 60 and 70 issues long, then New 52, and then now Rebirth, all that stuff. So, yeah, that's why we have so many volumes. Now, with this, Aquaman started as a side character in these right here, the Showcase and the Adventure Comics, Detective Comics, World's Finest Comics, even Action Comics, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, and Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane. Yeah. So it wasn't until all those books that where the character was famous and popular enough, where they gave him his own series, his first volume. So this omnibus, the material here was previously collected in the most horrible trades ever, which are these books right here. The Showcase presents uh, chunky newspaper trades. They're in black and white. They are terrible. I hate them because I cannot read this beautiful comic book in just black and white. That's just wrong. I'm okay with manga being in black and white, but with this, it's really vibrant and colorful, and so many wonderful artists worked on this. Just to have it in black and white, that's a disservice, in my opinion. So yeah, it was originally released in these books. Showcase presents Aquaman. This was released, wow, I'm going to say 10, 12 years ago, something like that. I'm not too sure, but it's old. And now those books are out of print. You can still get them, but I do believe they're out of stock or out of print. Those books collected the majority of Aquaman's origin. However, it's 2019. We want bigger, better builds, better books, better binding, better everything. And to have Aquaman in an omnibus format is fantastic. He is one of the founding leaguers in the Justice League. He is a very important character to the company as a whole. He's a famous superhero. He recently had his first movie. He appeared in his first live action movie. Of course, he also did cameos and a full appearance in the BVS and Justice League and all that stuff. But yeah, by the way, another fun fact: the Aquaman movie is DC's highest selling movie, live action movie of all time, with 1,400 something $1,000,000, yada yada yada. So yeah, that's a little trivia for you guys. So here we are now. After we had a couple of Peter David issues, then we had the Sub Diego stuff collected in trades. The Aquaman New 52 was collected in an omnibus. The Jeff Parker stuff from New 52 has not been collected, nor is Cullen Bunn. Anything of Abnet in Rebirth, none of that is in oversized format. All that stuff is in trades. We do have a premiere hardcover for Drowned Earth, which is the end cap for Abnett's run. So the only omnibus that this character has is the New 52 Aquaman by Jeff Johns. That's it. Now, it's unfair when you compare it to a character, if you want to stick with DC, if you compare it to a character like Batman, which has a lot of omnibuses. Superman doesn't have that many, but he still has a few. Wonder Woman is getting up there. She recently had the New 52 omnibus being released. We're also getting a Gail Simone Wonder Woman omnibus. There's the George Perez run, all that stuff. Green Lantern has a few omnis. JSA. Flash has, I believe Flash has 4 omnis. I'm not sure, 4 or 5, whatever. So you get my point. Aquaman didn't have anything. We weren't even sure if that omnibus was going to come out or not. So to now have an important piece of comic book history, because I do consider origins of these characters as important pieces, is pretty important in my honest opinion. So Showcase presents Volume 1 collects the following issues. It's collecting stories that are not full comic book issues. There were more of backstories, which had lesser content, lesser pages. It collects stories from Showcase 30 to 33. The first run of Aquaman, issues 1 through 19. Brave and the Bold, number 51. And Adventures from Adventure Comics, 260 to 282, 280, 282, and 284. Detective Comics 293 to 300. World's Finest Comics 125 to 133, 135, 137, and 139. Superman 138 and 148. Action Comics 272. Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen number 55, and Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane number 12, as well as 29 to 31. 1,000 pages. It's coming out supposedly March 2020 for $125. You are getting a hell of a deal. Of course, Robert Bernstein, Jack Miller, and art by the amazing Ramona Fradon and Nick Cardy, and a new cover by Doc Shaner. This is pretty awesome. If you're wondering where does this fit in the Aquaman bibliography, if you will, this is basically collecting all of this uh, old trade, all this material, and 95% of volume 2. So let me close this. All right. So if this sells well and they do a volume 3, Jesus, if this sells well and they do a volume 2 will contain the materials from Showcase Volume 3, which basically is continuing the Aquaman stuff, because here we have Aquaman 1 through 18. Volume 2 continues that run alongside these other blah. I'm sorry, these other titles right there. And Volume 3 it doesn't finish, but it continues the first Aquaman solo book, and it leads up to the recently released Search for Mira Deluxe Edition that came out last November of 2018. That one has issues 40 through 48. So it lines up with that. It should line up with that. And or they could just continue putting out omnis to cover like the 70 plus issues for the first volume of Aquaman, or however long that was. So yeah, it's pretty exciting. I don't know. I think all of you guys are in for a treat. This is some really cool material that I love, and Aquaman is my favorite DC character, so I cannot wait. And I urge you once again, if you want to pick any of these new omnis up, now's the time to do it. Voice your opinion, and once they open up pre-orders on Amazon or DCBS or whatever site you use, uh, your local comic book shop, all that stuff, do pre-order. Let them know. Let the people making these books know that there is interest. And if you can do me a solid favor, share this video. Share the video talking and me geeking out about this omnibus, so that DC is aware that, yeah, there is a community of Aquaman fans and comic book fans that want to see this material put out. So that, my friends, is the solicitations and me geeking out about Aquaman. the Silver Age Omnibus. So there you go. So now I can look at the chat and the wonderful people that are joining me. The Collector, it's coming out in March. Eric, hey, I hope I'm saying all these names right. And I want to believe bets for when it will be rescheduled then canceled. Oh my God, don't. I want to believe. Don't ruin my mojo, man. I'm so happy, and now, oh Jesus, now I have to start getting paranoid about cancellations and stuff. But I hope it doesn't get canceled. I know that there are shakeups involved with DC and their collected editions department and all that stuff. I don't want that to be canceled. It's an important part of comic book history because it is Silver Age material. And I know it's not modern stuff. I know that we don't have the Peter David volume 3 that was canceled, the trade, and that's a damn shame. Hopefully it does get resolicited eventually. We need that run completed, even if it's not in omnibus form. I just want to own Aquaman by Peter David in a collected edition. I don't want to go through old floppies. I want it in my shelf in my Aquaman cube on my Kalax. Also, we are getting this year Sword of Atlantis, which was from Kurt Busiek. It's not my favorite. I don't like it at all. It was after the Subdiego stuff, yeah, and just before Jeff Johns took over the character with Blackest Night, Brightest Day, all that stuff. And that is going to be because we had a previous trade that collected issues 40 to 45, I think, and this new one is going to collect. It's going to collect more. I think it's going to be like 10 issues of the sort of Atlantis stuff and finish it out. But instead, we're missing, and I'm looking at my shelf, we're missing the trade that goes in between the Vike stuff, Water Bearer and Subdiego. There's one trade that's missing that would be like 7 or 8 issues, and then you have the whole thing collected. Why couldn't you release that first and then worry about stupid Sword of Atlantis later? I don't know. That's a mystery. So yeah, but yeah, if anybody wants to ask me any questions, I'm going to be wrapping this up. I just wanted to geek out about it to recap the DC Comics September 2019 solicitations came out, and the big highlight for this guy, for this nerd, for this comic book nerd, Aquaman: The Silver Age Omnibus Volume 1 hardcover, March 4th, 2020. Please, if you can pre-order, do it and let DC Comics know that they're making the right move by putting this out there for the world to consume. Because I do think Aquaman deserves the respect that other comic book characters have, especially from their fans. You see characters like Spider-Man, who has dozens of omnibuses. The X-Men have a ton of omnis. Wolverine, you got DC characters like Green Lantern, Batman, Wonder Woman. They all have omnis. Aquaman only has one. And I think we got to change that and you know, get more collected editions out there. As always, guys, you can follow me on your favorite social media platform: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for everybody that tuned in live. This is the first of many live streams. I'm thinking about doing it once a month. Do like quick little Q&A sessions and all that stuff. Usually on Fridays. Back when the last one that I did was in August 2017. I remember now. I used to call the stream that Friday show because I didn't have a name for it. And I'm like, it's that Friday show. And so I ended up calling it that Friday show. where I just talk news and random stuff that I wanted to mention on this channel. But this is more of a channel that we can chill out and talk about manga and anime, comics, movies, all that geeky stuff that you guys like. Follow me on all those social media platforms, like I mentioned. Like, comment, subscribe, do all that wonderful stuff that you guys do. Uh, so, for those of you wondering as well, if you're watching this pre-recorded, um, not pre-recorded, after the show ends, and it goes, yeah, whatever. I'm rambling. Uh, I did a couple manga and anime videos, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that I am. I do plan to cover a lot of books as well. Don't worry about it. Comic books ain't going nowhere. I just did this video for Christ's sakes. So yeah, I'm going to be doing some comic book reviews that I have lined up. I am going to be talking about uh, this thing, Justice League and Aquaman Drowned Earth. I'm going to be talking about it soon, as well as the rest of Appnet's Rebirth run, because I only covered like the first 4 trades. So I should be doing a part 2 of that with the following volumes, which I think 5, 6, 7. I think it's like another 8 more books. So yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up that stuff, and I cannot wait for Kelly Sue's first trade to come out. I think it's in August, so I can start reading that run as well. I'm pretty excited. I've all the previews and stuff I've read. It looks pretty awesome, and I can't wait to dig into that as well. So yeah, I'm going to be posting more Aquaman videos in the near future, like very soon, and I'm also going to be reviewing. Stuff like Justice League Dark, Mr. Miracle. I've got some image books that I want to talk about. I've got other manga stuff. It's little by little, one travels far, or however the saying goes from Tolkien. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. T2 Fallen, thank you so much. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm busy with real world stuff, so it takes me a while to read the stuff and figure out what I'm going to say. I don't like spoiling stuff on my videos, so it's mostly like a 99% spoiler free channel. And if I do a spoiler video, I warn you guys ahead of time and I put it in the description. So I don't want people mad at me. So yeah, it takes me a little while, but I do want to get through a ton of backlog material. Hauls and anime video essays, those are still in the works. There's a lot of cool stuff that I'm planning, and hopefully you guys will stick around for all that stuff. So yeah, for everybody that tuned in live, I'm looking at the chat right now. Thank you so much. Blessings to everybody. I wish you nothing but the best. And yeah, this has been a successful. I forgot how to speak. This has been a successful stream for another episode here on A Week in Geekdom. Thank you guys so much. God bless. I will see all of you on our next installment. Bye.